I'll be your Power BI trainer. I have 10 plus of years of IT, overall IT experience. So I'm working on Power BI from past 4 years, exclusively on Power BI. Okay. Uh, so like coming to the Power BI, it's a Microsoft flavored tool of reporting services. So this is one of the leading tools in the market. I can say you have a lot of tools like MicroStrategy, ClickView, ClickSense, uh, and Tableau, one of the competitor to the Power BI. So there are different platforms in the reporting footprint and the reporting landscape. So we are exclusively dealing with Power BI as a reporting component, which is one of the leading tools in the market. So the main reason why the demand for the Power BI and the demand for the Microsoft exclusively tools is for the cost effective license. So turnaround to the market is very less. So because of this, a lot of openings and the skill set getting trained up in the market, or picking up very fast in the market. So that is the reason, that is the main three key points where Power BI stands. And then so that is where everywhere in the market people are looking towards Power BI trained. At least a look around of the Power BI tool will help the interviewers to grab your presence in their companies. So which will help them to start working on the tools and the technologies. So that is the main ideology of the Power BI. And if you take the Gartner chart is nothing but it tells about the components, leaders, and all the in the landscape of reporting. Power BI always stands uh, in the topmost quadrant. So which it just ruled out the components like Tableau, MicroStrategy, business objects, SAP business objects, OBI. Okay, so these are all the various different tools we have. And then it was Power BI, it shooted up all the things and it moved to in the topmost standpoint, in the topmost rank. So that is a brief introduction of Power BI. Power BI is nothing but it is a part of Microsoft flavored in the analytics platform, and it is used for the reporting standpoint. So that is the brief introduction of Power BI. Okay. So Power BI, like you may get, why to learn Power BI, why not others? As I was discussing earlier, so the turnaround time to the market is very less, or lack of, great skill presence in the market, and then demanding projects in the pipeline. So these are the key components where you people are enabled to learn Power BI. So that is the main advantage of learning Power BI. So let's quickly start with the. I'll just share my screen. Okay, I'll share the content and all. You know. So this will be the introduction to Power BI. So how the I'll just walk around the schedule. So what is our plan, and how we are going to figure it out. Okay. So basically for every analytics platform, so SQL will be a bread and butter. Okay. So you take any tool, Tableau, you take Power BI, you take MicroStrategy, ClickView, ClickSense, anything you take, Power BI will be the SQL will be the main component or the bread and butter of the tools. So in this session, I just want to have a quick brush up, or it might be brush up for a couple of folks, or it might be starting a session for a couple of people. So as a whole, I just want to put it all these points in a consolidated format, so that at least SQL is a notion where we will be dealing with only basics, and then the reporting needs. So what is the SQL components needed for a reporting people? So exclusively for them to certain extent. So let's say tomorrow, if you want to create a table, if you want to create a at least a table with some columns, if you want to insert some data, you want to update the data, you want to create a view. So these things are incorporated into our schedule. My intention is to, like, tomorrow you should not be with a, whenever you start working on this part, one, if you're lead or a manager, so quickly ask you to create a table or a view, you should not have a blank face. So that is my idea behind this course content. So, okay. So that is the reason, introduction to SQL will help you to, like, figure it out. What is a database? What is a DDLs? What are all DMLs? What are all data types? So what is a join and what is a union? So what is the views and the importance of views in reportings? So the up to this, I'll be covering up the SQL standpoint. So SQL will be covered up to here. So in this point, and then tomorrow, like, if you want to shift your career, so generally any reporting, if you take, it will be the components of data warehousing followed by the reporting. So I'll just tell you, like, what is a data warehouse. So what are all concepts of ETL, how the business runs, and then what are all different generalized schemas what we have in the industry or enterprise level or a real time. So how people start working on that part, and then a few, like, definite couple of interview questions how people may ask in and around data warehouse. So these are all the few points where I will almost guide you to the 50% of the ETL theoretical part, so that tomorrow if you want to shift your career towards ETL aligned tools, your shift will be very easy. So you need not, if you brush up these concepts, so it will be very easy for you to understand the ETL. ETL, again, it's just a tool. Behind that, 50% of the concepts are also covered here in this session. So what is a data warehouse? What is a schema? So what are all schemas we have? So all these components are covered in this introduction to SQL session. So far clear? So, like, this will be the introduction to SQL component. Okay, and then becomes the next part. These are introduction to Power BI. So Power BI is will start once the SQL components, you are handy with SQL components, and then the introduction to Power BI will start. And then in the Power BI session, I have segregated the components in this module wise, session wise content actually. So in this introduction to Power BI, we will have the Power BI desktop introduction, desktop, Power BI service, Power BI, normal desktop content, Power Query. These are all the different components. All seems to be similar, but when to use and where to use is the critical component here. So all these components, all these discussions will be, involved in this introduction to Power BI components. Okay, so then comes the introduction to DAX. DAX is nothing but it is a syntactical language where the Power BI will communicate with the reports. So that is the language. We call it as a DAX. It's a data analysis expressions. Okay, so using this expressions, so we will communicate with the Power BI. So how to write it and how to use it. So these are all the components. So we will be, involved in the learning phase of these components. So there are a lot of, different components we have, like 500 plus of DAX functions are there. So we will be dealing what are all commonly used to DAX functions, and by the time you will be flexible to search and write queries by using different functions if the scenario occurs. So in that way, the training will be there. So at least by that time you will be able to at least Google it and figure it out what to use, and at least with the syntax level. So I won't be telling all the 500 DAX functions. So I'll be telling what are all the commonly used DAX functions. So in our regular day-to-day life where you can run the show. So, okay. So by that time, anyway, you'll be hands-free with the DAX functions. And then we have different components, like every report has these components, actions. So how to bookmarks, actions includes bookmarks and all those components. I'll tell you how to enable bookmarks and how to do that actually. And then comes the component called filters. So how to implement filters in Power BI. So data level and all those filter concepts will be taught here. And then introduction to visualizations. Visualizations are nothing but we have different visualizations. So we have around 27 to 30 approved visuals from the Microsoft visualization standpoint. So I'll be telling you like all those visuals. matrix, tables, scorecard, maps, and all. And then comes to the report formatting. So report formatting also is very important. So how to do the interactions with the report. So all these components are covered with the report formatting. And then comes with the RLS part, which is nothing but a secured row level security. One of the definite interview questions people will be asking you. So how to create a row level security, did you get a chance to implement it? So all these components in the row level security development and all will be covered in this module. And then comes to this is the whole introduction to Power BI to introduction to visualizations is with the Power BI desktop, and then comes with the Power BI service. Power BI service is nothing but it is a platform where people will start looking for your developed reports. Okay, we call it as a Power BI service. If you go with the Tableau, it is called as a Tableau server. Yeah, if you go with the ClickView server or MicroStrategy Intelligence, MicroStrategy Web, or there are different other interfaces or the nomenclature we have. So it is nothing but the Power BI service is nothing but the Power BI server, where people will start consuming your developed reports. It is a place to host your reports. So we will start with the Power BI service. Power BI service introduction, and then data gateways and its importance, schedule refresh, how to do a schedule refresh. So Q&A in the reports, RLS setup. So how to configure RLS at the Power BI service is also an important point. Apart from the RLS, what you configure at the desktop level, there are two levels of configurations we need to do. That is also, this is the part 2 of the RLS, which is covered in the Power BI service. Okay, and this is altogether as a part of Power BI desktop development to the publishing of your reports to the Power BI server. Okay, then comes to the Power BI report builder, one of the most important tools, hot trending in the market. I see a lot of migrations coming in the market, SAP BO2, Power BI paginated reports, OBI to Power BI paginated reports. So all these reports migrations are very keen in the market. So these are all built in the Power BI report builder. We call it as a paginated reports. It is a separate tool provided by the Microsoft in order to handle these kind of reports. So in this Power BI report builder, we will be dealing with how the Power BI report builder look and feel looks, what is the introduction of that, how to create a report in the Power BI report builder, and publishing back to the service. So all these end to end, how to deal with the Power BI reports, we will be dealing with the report builder standpoint. So when you come to the Power BI report builder, the difference between a Power BI reports and a Power BI report builder, there is a difference, when to use where and what to use. That is a key difference. So which will be identified by you by that time. So I'll just quickly tell you an example so that you can quickly follow. Whenever you go to a bank, so if you ask for a statement of 1 month, how they will provide it? They will provide in a tabular format, correct? So your entries, your entries, credits and debits. So how much is the opening balance and the closing balance? So what is your transaction type? So did you see any visualizations over there? Can you see any visualizations? I mean a bar graph or a normal line chart. So those you cannot see there, correct? So statement consists of 50 pages or 100 pages depending upon your transaction, correct? So if you want to take a printable format, pixel perfect print of your particular report, which is spanning, pages together, 100 pages, 200, 500, 600, how many pages ever. So those kind of reports are called paginated reports, long running reports, which are in a printable format and print friendly format. If you are targeting for an A4 size format, you can go ahead and take. If you are targeting for a PDF export, you can go ahead and start working on the PDF export. So all these, these particular tools, these particular reports will be developed in the Power BI report builder, so-called paginated reports. Very, very important. So nowadays, people are using widely in the market. So this is one of the components of Power BI. So this is how I can quickly differentiate Power BI report builder and a Power BI normal desktop reports. So if you go ahead and see normal invoice-based reports, MedPlus or Apollo Pharmacy, or if you go with any DMart, any store, if you go, how they will give you a complete details. So your representative number, assignee number, employee code, and then the item number, GST number, so item tag code. So will you see any visualizations over there? No, right? So these are all the components or the reports which are developed in the report builder. So that is the differentiation of the Power BI desktop and your Power BI reports. So that is the key differentiation of the these two tools. I can tell you these are all two separate tools. Okay, Power BI desktop and Power BI report builder or a paginated report. Okay, so far clear. Everyone, once we are done with the reports, so introduction to I'll be teaching with the Power BI mobile. So how to take care of the mobile reports. So how to see the mobile reports. So how to develop the mobile reports. All these components will be discussed in this introduction to Power BI mobile module. So that is how the entire course content description. So I hope it is clear for you. So in this way, we will hit the market with all these components. So that is what the brief introduction. I'll just show you, what is a difference between dashboard and a report, so that you might quickly, people who understand, who already know, is well and good. Who is new, they can see actually. So in this way, the dashboard looks. It is a place where all the visualizations are located, which provides a 360-degree view. I cannot say 360-degree. This is a 360-degree view only. So for a particular content, 360-degree view visualization. So each and every module speaks about one component. So this is how the dashboard is built. You can see a rich set of visualizations: bar graph, stacked column chart, tiles, pie chart. So all these components are involved here. See, anything, any tool, any dashboard you take, you have a maps here, you have a gauge, all these components are involved here. So which is a pictorial representation of your data. So that is the main important of this dashboard. So if you take with the Power BI paginated reports, see, invoice based reports. So can you see any visualization compared to that? No, you cannot see any visualization. Visualizations will be there, but to certain extent, but it will not support how Power BI desktop or the Power BI visualization tool supports. Very limited use of visualization. The intention of this tool is like, it is a printable format with less number of visualizations. So see, anywhere you take, it is a tabular format with certain details. Tabular format with certain details. See, any tool, any report. See, this is how it will take. It is a pixel perfect and printable format. So that is the main advantage of this paginated reports. So that is how we will build the paginated reports and the Power BI desktop reports. I hope you got some idea now, like when to use what. So by the time, little differentiation of the paginated reports and the Power BI desktop dashboards. So that is how the two different flavors of Microsoft Power BI analytics platform we have. So this is how you have two tools, components. And then coming to the layout of look and feel of Power BI. So this will be the very easy tool to tell you, quick turnaround time to the market is very less. So you can you can quickly pick it up, experienced professionals or freshers or any that is nowhere criteria to pick it up, irrespective of software domain. Other than any domain, you can start learning it. Why? Because my content is designed from the basics of SQL. Okay, so that is how it was designed. So this will be the look and feel of the Power BI.